10 rock songwriters. 10 songs that turned into absolute classics. And here's the part nobody talks about. Every single person on this list was already gone before the world caught up to what they'd made.
So, oh Lord, won't you buy me?
Some never even heard their song on the radio. One of them recorded hers 3 days before she died, almost by accident. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you won't hear these songs the same way again.
Oh, I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay.
Number 11, Dennis Wilson, Forever.
If the song I sing to you could feel,
This one's a beach boy, but maybe not the one you'd expect.
let the love I have for you.
Dennis Wilson was the drummer, the wild one, the only actual surfer in a band that built its whole image on surfing.
It's shown forever.
For years, people underestimated him as a songwriter, until 1970's Sunflower album, where he wrote and sang a ballad called Forever. His brother Brian later called it one of the most beautiful pieces of harmony the band ever put to tape, practically a hymn.
I asked the sky just what we
Dennis spent the next decade running from his own demons, addiction, financial collapse, a marriage that ended badly. By December 1983, he was essentially homeless, drifting between friends' couches and hospital stays, genuinely trying to get sober.
not forever.
He'd checked into detox just days before Christmas, and then, on December 28th, after a day of drinking, he dove into the water at Marina del Rey, looking for things he'd once thrown overboard from a boat that wasn't even his anymore. He drowned. He was 39. Forever wasn't a hit when he died. It took a full decade.
Gonna love in your
And of all things, a sitcom, to change that.
talk forever.
John Stamos, playing Uncle Jesse on Full House, kept performing the song on the show.
I've been so happy loving you.
And a whole new generation fell for it, without knowing the man who wrote it had been gone for 10 years already.
I've been so happy loving.
The Beach Boys eventually re-recorded it with Stamos on lead vocal, the only Dennis Wilson song they've touched since he died. He wrote a song called Forever. It's the one thing about him that actually was.
On the way. But
Number 10, Lowell George Willin.
Get waited. And if you give
We're starting with a name a lot of casual fans won't recognize. But if you've ever heard a trucker ballad turn up on classic rock radio, you've heard this one's shadow everywhere.
kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my
Lowell George wrote Willin' back in 1968. He wasn't even in his own band yet. He was playing guitar for Frank Zappa in The Mothers of Invention.
white sand.
Scribbling lyrics about a long-haul driver crossing the back roads of the Southwest, hauling whatever needed hauling, and keeping himself awake however he could. 3 years later, he formed Little Feat, and Willin' became the song the band opened with, closed with, basically built an identity around.
And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari.
Here's the part that stings, though. Little Feat never had a single charting hit, not one.
I'll be willing.
Willin' never touched the Billboard charts in any version George recorded. It got famous anyway, through word of mouth, through other musicians, through a live reputation that slowly turned it into what people just call a roots standard. Then in 1974, Linda Ronstadt put her own version on Heart Like a Wheel, her first #1 album.
road so I wouldn't get wet.
And suddenly George's song was reaching people who'd never heard of Little Feat at all.
Driven the back road so
George liked her version, mostly. He just thought her delivery leaned a little too hard into one of the song's more colorful lines. Typical songwriter, proud of the thing, still picking at the details.
to be moving.
Little Feat broke up in 1979. George put out one solo record that same year. And on June 29th, on a solo tour, in a hotel room in Arlington, Virginia, his heart gave out.
Get wet. And if you give
He was 34. He never got to watch Willin' become what it is now, one of those songs nearly every serious singer-songwriter eventually covers.
kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my
Almost as a rite of passage. He just wrote it, sang it on a record that didn't sell, and kept moving.
white sand.
Let's look at the numbers. Only 9% of you are actually subscribed. Honestly, that's tough to see. Our team spends days hunting down archives and verifying every single fact just to tell these stories right. If you've made it this far into the video, you're clearly part of the community, so please hit subscribe. It costs nothing and helps us immensely. Now, for those already subscribed, very few of you have made the jump to our membership, and that's a hard pill to swallow because you're the ones who know our value best. If this channel has moved you or inspired you, consider joining. It's the price of one coffee, but it's the literal fuel for this channel. Let's keep this alive together. Back to the story.
Number 9, Buddy Holly, True Love Ways.
And we'll know why.
February 3rd, 1959. The date so many people just call the day the music died.
Sometimes
Buddy Holly was 22, on a small chartered plane through the freezing Midwest, when the aircraft carrying him, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper went down near Clear Lake, Iowa.
sometimes
Everyone on board, including the pilot, was killed. What gets lost in that headline is a song he'd written just months earlier as a wedding gift for his wife, Maria Elena.
with those who really care.
He co-wrote True Love Ways with his producer Norman Petty, building the melody around an old gospel hymn called I'll Be All Right.
Will bring us joys to
The same hymn that would later be played at Holly's own funeral. He recorded it on October 21st, 1958, at his very last session.
just you and I know true love.
4 months before the crash, it didn't come out for another year and a half. When it finally did, in 1960, on a posthumous album, it barely made a dent, number 25 in the UK, nothing at all in the US.
Our true love way.
Here's the part that still gets me though. True Love Ways eventually became one of the most quietly covered songs in pop history. Peter and Gordon recorded it. Cliff Richard took it into the UK top 10 in 1983, 25 years after Holly wrote it.
Sometimes we'll
Mickey Gilley took a country arrangement of it all the way to number 1 in 1980. Holly wrote a love song for his bride on what turned out to be the last day he'd ever step into a recording studio.
and we'll know why. Just you.
It took the rest of the world more than 2 decades, in pieces, through other people's voices, to actually fall for it.
Our true love way.
Number 8, Jeff Buckley, Lover You Should Have Come Over.
Going wrong.
This brings us back to the Buckley name. Remember Tim Buckley, back at number 14? This is his son.
How much I need it.
Jeff Buckley wrote Lover You Should Have Come Over himself for his only studio album, Grace, in 1994.
For you, and I'll burn.
He said on stage that he wrote it during a stretch of heartbreak, alone in his apartment, waiting on a phone call that never came.
That is made, open window lets the rain in.
Grace got good reviews. It did not sell. We're talking a peak of 149 on the Billboard 200.
My kingdom for a king.
His only real chart presence in his lifetime was a minor UK hit that stalled at number 54. On May 29, 1997, Buckley went swimming, fully clothed, in a Memphis harbor connected to the Mississippi River, singing the chorus to a Led Zeppelin song. A passing tugboat's wake pulled him under. He was 30. The autopsy found no drugs, no alcohol, just an accident. Grace became one of those albums that grows the longer its writer's been gone, eventually crossing 2 million copies sold, landing on basically every greatest albums list that gets written.
Sweet love. Bro.
But here's the wait what moment, and it's recent enough some of you watching might have actually seen it happen. Lover, You Should Have Come Over went viral on social media this past year.
You tonight, child, you know.
And for the first time, almost 30 years after Jeff Buckley died, it entered the Billboard Hot 100. His first official chart hit, decades late. He never heard the phone ring. And almost 30 years later, somehow, the world finally picked up.
Lonely is the room, the bed.
Number 7, Janis Joplin, Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz. Oh, Lord, won't you buy?
October 1st, 1970. Janis Joplin walks into Sunset Sound to finish what would become her album Pearl.
Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town?
And almost as a joke, she records the last song she'll ever put on tape. A few months earlier, she'd been at a bar in Port Chester, New York, riffing with her friend Bob Newworth on a line from a beat poet named Michael McClure.
Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my...
They scribbled lyrics on bar napkins. Joplin performed it live that same night, basically finished. Cut to the recording session.
Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me.
The tape machines actually broke down mid-take. Everyone's getting antsy, and Joplin just starts singing Mercedes-Benz a cappella to cut the tension.
Porsches, I must make amends. Worked
Half as a joke, telling the room she had a brand new hit for them. It got everyone laughing.
I mean a color TV. Darling,
And because the engineers always kept a backup tape rolling just in case, it got captured. One take, no instruments, just her voice. Three days later, on October 4th, 1970, Joplin died of a heroin overdose in a Los Angeles hotel room. She was 27.
my friends. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a...
Mercedes-Benz came out the next year, tucked away as a B-side on Pearl. It never charted the way Me and Bobby McGee did, a song, by the way, she didn't even write. But Mercedes-Benz is the one that's actually completely hers.
I'll wait for delivery each day until...
Written in her own voice, sung with nothing to hide behind, an almost throwaway moment that became one of the most recognizable 30 seconds in her entire catalog. She made it to break the tension in the room. It became the last thing she ever said to us.
I'll wait for delivery each day until...
Number 6, Roy Orbison, You Got It. This one's almost the opposite of tragic, right up until it isn't.
I live my life.
By 1988, Roy Orbison was in the middle of the best comeback story in rock and roll. He joined the Traveling Wilburys alongside Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, George Harrison, and Jeff Lynne. And that group's first album shot into the top 3. While that was happening, Lynne and Petty helped him record a solo album called Mystery Girl. And the three of them co-wrote its lead single, You Got It, tracking the basic parts in a garage in Los Angeles. Orbison performed it live exactly once, at a festival in Antwerp, Belgium, on November 19, 1988. 17 days later, on December 6th, he died of a heart attack at his mother's house in Tennessee. He was 52. You Got It came out the following January, posthumously. It climbed to number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, his first U.S. top 10 hit since Oh Pretty Woman, 24 years earlier. Number 1 on Adult Contemporary, top 3 in the UK, and because he only ever performed the song once, that single Belgium show is essentially the entire music video. There was no other footage to use. The world's lasting visual memory of Roy Orbison singing his own comeback hit is One Night, One Stage, 17 days before he never sang again. He spent the 80s watching younger musicians line up to tell him how much he'd influenced them. Right as the industry finally caught back up to him, he ran out of time to enjoy it. Number 5, Bradley Nowell, What I Got. If you grew up anywhere near a skate park or a beach town in the late 90s, you already know this one in your bones. Bradley Nowell fronted Sublime, a scrappy, genre-blending punk reggae ska band out of Long Beach. And by early 1996, they'd finally landed a major label deal with MCA. Nowell had gotten clean specifically so the deal could happen. He married his longtime girlfriend, Troy, on May 18, 1996. 7 days later, he relapsed and died of a heroin overdose in a San Francisco motel room, hours before a sold-out show. He was 28. The band canceled that night's concert. Fans showed up anyway, and it turned into an impromptu wake nobody had planned for. 2 months later, Sublime's self-titled album came out, the one Nowell had just finished before he died, What I Got, Santeria, Wrong Way, Doin' Time. It eventually sold somewhere north of 5 million copies in the US alone. What I Got topped Billboard's modern rock chart, and the album became one of the defining sounds of an entire era. Sublime's own managers genuinely believed, in the days right after his death, the band would never play under that name again. He got clean to chase this. He got married a week before he lost the fight again. He never played a single show as part of the band that Sublime actually made famous. That's a different kind of loss. It's not just that he died too soon, it's that he was already on his way somewhere better. Number 4, Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle.
To do is to save every day.
This one's almost too on the nose to be real, except it is.
Things you want to do once you find them.
Jim Croce wrote Time in a Bottle after finding out his wife, Ingrid, was pregnant with their son. It sat quietly on his 1972 album for a year, never released as a single.
Just to spend them with you. If I
Then, in September 1973, a TV movie about a young woman dying of cancer used the song prominently throughout its broadcast.
If I had a box just for wishes.
People started flooding radio stations asking where they could buy it. Eight days after that broadcast, on September 20th, 1973, Croce died.
I'd save every day like a treasure, and then
When his small plane crashed on takeoff from Natchitoches, Louisiana, killing him, his guitarist Maury Muleisen, and 4 others. He was 30.
except for the memory of how they were answered.
Time in a Bottle entered the charts that December. It hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the very last week of 1973, about 3 months after Croce died.
But there never seems to be enough time to do the
He became the first artist in chart history to score a number 1 hit on the Hot 100, both while he was alive and after he died.
could make days last forever.
Stay with me on this one, because it's the part that actually haunts people who know the story.
Enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them.
The entire song is about wishing you could stop time and hold on to the people you love a little longer.
In a bottle, the first thing that I'd like.
8 days after he wrote those words into a hit single, he ran out of exactly that.
And dreams that had never come true.
Number 3, Freddie Mercury, The Show Must Go On.
Another mindless crime.
This is the one where the band basically knew what they were recording, even if the rest of the world didn't yet.
Still stays on.
By 1990, Freddie Mercury's health had deteriorated badly from complications of AIDS.
Outside the dawn is breaking.
Though almost nobody outside his inner circle knew it. His bandmate Brian May wrote most of The Show Must Go On, specifically about Mercury's situation, working out the lyrics with him directly.
Like the wings of butterfly. Fairy tales.
May genuinely doubted Mercury would be physically capable of singing something that demanding. Mercury could barely walk by that point. So the story goes, and the band has told it many times. Mercury downed a shot of vodka, told May he was doing it no matter what, and nailed the entire vocal in a single take. May later described it as one of the most ferocious performances Mercury ever gave. The Show Must Go On came out as a single on October 14, 1991. Six weeks later, on November 23rd, Mercury publicly confirmed for the first time that he had AIDS. He died the very next day, November 24, 1991, of bronchial pneumonia. He was 45.
Behind the curtain, in the pants of
The song re-entered the British charts after his death, and it's hard to listen to it now without hearing exactly what it actually was.
what we are living for. I guess
Not a metaphor, not a guess, but a man, with his bandmates' help, writing down precisely what it felt like to keep performing while he was dying, and somehow finding the voice to sing it. Number 2, John Lennon, Just Like, Starting Over.
Every day we used to make it love. Why can't we be?
One of the most devastating ironies on this entire list. John Lennon wrote "Just Like Starting Over" while vacationing in Bermuda in early 1980.
We took the time, no one's to blame. My no time flies so quickly.
After 5 years away from the music industry raising his son, it was meant to be exactly what the title says, a fresh start, the first new Lennon record in half a decade.
Let's take a chance and fly away.
He recorded it that August at the Hit Factory in New York and released it that October as the lead single from Double Fantasy.
Starting over.
By early December, it had peaked at number 3 in the US and was actually sliding down the UK charts. Just another single, doing fine, nothing extraordinary yet. On December 8, 1980, Lennon was shot and killed outside his apartment building in New York. He was 40. Starting Over shot to number 1 in both countries almost immediately afterward.
Falling in love again, it'll be
His first posthumous chart topper, and ultimately his biggest solo hit in America. 5 weeks at the top.
just like starting over.
Here's what makes this one different from almost everything else on this list. The other songs that became posthumous hits tend to carry some built-in sadness. Longing, Mortality, Goodbye. This one doesn't. It's warm, it's optimistic, it's a guy in his 40s, genuinely happy, looking forward to a life he was about to be robbed of. And that contrast between what the song is actually about and what happened days after he released it is exactly what makes it one of the hardest songs on this whole list to sit with.
Well, darling, it's been too long.
Number 1, Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Wasting time.
This is, genuinely, where this entire phenomenon basically begins. Otis Redding spent August of 1967 on a rented houseboat in Sausalito, California, starting to write something different from anything he'd released before.
This is not my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at.
Quieter, more reflective, he brought it back to Memphis and finished it with his longtime collaborator, guitarist Steve Cropper.
Headed for the Frisco Bay.
They recorded it across 2 sessions, the last one on December 7, 1967. During that final session, Redding forgot the ad-lib ending they'd planned, so he just whistled instead. Nobody told him to.
Roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on a dock.
It wasn't written down anywhere. It just happened, and it became the single most recognizable moment in the entire song.
Oh, I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay.
3 days later, on December 10, 1967, Redding and 4 members of his backing band died when their chartered plane went down into Lake Monona, Wisconsin.
The dock of the bay, watching the tide.
He was 26. Some of the Stax executives, including the label's own co-founder, weren't even sure they should release Dock of the Bay.
I'm sitting on the dock of the bay. Wait.
They thought it was too big a departure from the raw, sweat and horn soul sound Redding was known for.
'Cause I've had nothing to live for.
Steve Cropper mixed the final version after Redding was already gone, adding the seagulls and the waves himself, exactly the way Redding had asked for before he died.
Roll in, and then I watch 'em roll away.
It came out in January 1968. By March, it was number 1 on both the pop and R&B charts.
Watching the tide roll away.
The very first posthumous number 1 single in American chart history. 4 million copies sold, 2 Grammys he never got to accept.
And look like nothing's gonna come my way. So
He never heard it on the radio, not once. The label almost didn't release it.
headed for the Frisco Bay.
The most famous 15 seconds of the entire song happened because he forgot his own lyrics. And 3 days after that session ended, so did he.
rolled away. Ooh, I'm sitting on a dock.